thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you for inviting us to your office. As we celebrate 40 years of living at LaSalle, it's really great to be meeting with you. Do you want to just share with us your name, your class year, and if you have a family legacy at LaSalle?
Sure. Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Kristin Sousa, class of 1991, and I was the first in my family to go to LaSalle. So, not a I am the legacy.
Yeah. Great. What were you involved with when you were a student at LaSalle?
Oh, and at LaSalle, everything I could be involved with. Really enjoyed football. I grew up in a football family. My dad was a coach, and we spent a lot of time on a football field growing up, and so I volunteered with the football team and did some stats for them, and really loved sports all around. Might have dated a hockey player, that kind of thing. So really big supporter of the sports teams. I wasn't an athlete myself, but really did a lot of that kind of hanging out and supporting the overall athletic accomplishments of LaSalle.
That's great.
Which are mighty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, did you have any teachers that you were really close with, or that you enjoyed their class while you were at LaSalle?
Yeah. So a couple come to mind. Freshman year, I had a math teacher, an algebra teacher, who was my size. Her name was Mrs. Green, and she definitely had an impact on me. She was not an easy teacher, and she was pretty strict, but her approach and how she recognized when you were struggling, looking back on it, I'm not sure I felt that way when I was in the class, but certainly looking back on her and sort of how she taught and how she was able to identify with her students, she's stayed with me, and some of the things that she taught me, not necessarily content, but just approach and how to handle problems when you're struggling with something, sticks with me. Also had an English teacher that actually was very funny, but very deep in literature, and so Mr. Kopka was his name, and he definitely has resonated with me over time. And I had really great guidance counselor. I would probably say of everyone at LaSalle, he probably had the greatest influence on me, from the perspective of the support he showed me and his advocacy of me in particular. So yeah, there's probably many more, but those are a few that come to mind.
That's great. And what was your journey after you graduated from LaSalle? Did you go to college? Did you pursue a different program? What was that journey like for you?
Yeah, so I struggled, I think, coming out of college, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to study. I actually started at Rhode Island College, thinking I was going to be a teacher, and then realized that probably was not for me. And so I moved over to Providence College, where I studied health service administration and got my bachelor's in health service administration, which I think really was, I knew I wanted to do something in healthcare, but not necessarily clinically, but I liked that area of work, and so it has served me well.
Great. And you were in one of the first graduating classes of coeducation at LaSalle. Was LaSalle always your first choice, or did you want to go somewhere else? What was that journey for you?
Yeah, so I think it's really hard as an 8th grader to make a decision on where you want to go to high school. And so, no, it was not my original choice. I was enrolled and was planning to attend St. Mary's Bayview Academy. And late in the summer, prior to freshman year, I had a bit of a panic attack and thought, I don't think that's where I want to be. I want to be at LaSalle. So thankfully, I had very understanding parents, and they were able to work it out so that I could go to LaSalle.
That's great. It's a very interesting story too.
Yeah.
And now, what is your current position where you're working, and what is your day-to-day like?
Yeah, so Now I am the state of Rhode Island Medicaid director, and so I work for the state of Rhode Island. I manage and run the Medicaid program, which for folks who don't know what that is, it's for low-income individuals, families, and disabled adults, and adults without children who are low income. We provide health insurance, basically benefits to that population, and it's a very human service, human orientated role. It comes with a political side, it comes with a financial side, but primarily for me, it's that community and that giving back to those who are in a situation that fortunately I am not. And so I'm able to take my talents and my expertise and try to build a program that's good for them.
That's great. Thank you so much for all your work you're doing for the state as well.
Thank you.
And so a big part of LaSalle is entering to learn, leaving to serve, and service is a big aspect. Do you feel as though you're serving people through your position?
I do, every day. I think I would say it's a community effort, and the word community gets tossed around a lot, and it is not, there's many communities. There's a community here where we work, and the community and the team that does the work, and then there's the community of the people who receive the benefit, and then just the citizens of the state, and what it means to serve each one of those areas individually is a really big part of it. It's an honor to have the position. It is really important to take it seriously, but it's also the payback is good, right? We want our citizens and our beneficiaries to have healthy lives, and that's what we're trying to put forward. And that creates really great communities outside of just the Medicaid program. So I do feel like the position, there are other things that I like to do outside of a paid job, serving my community, whether that's, my local community where I live, or more holistically in the state. But a position in human services really is about community and giving back.
And so as you look at both your life, both professionally, personally, do you feel as though there's a particular milestone in your life that you attribute in part to your time at LaSalle?
Yeah, so I mentioned a particular guidance counselor that was meaningful to me, and the word I would use to describe that is advocacy. He was pivotal in my senior year in supporting my college search. I did not get into a college that I thought I should get into, and his advocacy without me even asking, the college changed their mind, and they let me in. And so it really isn't about the fact that I didn't get in and he got me in, or his advocacy got me in. It was more about his dedication to the cause. Whether it was just me or someone else, he brought that same level of commitment to his work. And I think that demonstrated to me what it takes to be successful and what it means to pay it forward, and to be part of something bigger than yourself. So I would use the word advocacy is something that I have brought with me from LaSalle. And it wasn't just that one example, it was the way in which, as you go through your years there, there's a lot of hard work. You learn resiliency, you learn about community and faith in action. And so the combination of those types of lessons and that advocacy really has helped me to get here, and to be able to give back to Rhode Island.
And looking at current students at LaSalle, do you have any advice for anyone who might be interested in pursuing a career within your field?
Yes, you need tough skin. It's important when you're a civil servant or you're looking to be in a healthcare capacity. There are good things and bad things that come with those responsibilities. You have to fight for every dollar that you get for your programs. You have to be able to mingle in different areas, meaning, at the legislature, at the governor's office, in the community with grassroots organizations. And so you need to be able to pivot. You need to have a strong advocacy for the cause. You should back it up with data. You should come prepared. And it is, as much as you give to it, it gives you double back for what you're doing for the state, your community, and the people you serve.
And as we think about this anniversary of 40 years of Women at LaSalle, and we're profiling you for this, and do you have any advice for current female students at the institution?
Yeah, for me, for young women who are thinking about what they want to do with their lives and where they want to go, my advice would be to know that you can do anything you want. You can achieve all those dreams if you remain resilient and steadfast in your cause and you work really hard. Not to say it will come easy or that it will be a nice straight road. There'll be bumps along the way, but that resiliency that you learn and the fundamental rules and goals and lessons that you learn at LaSalle will prepare you for the success to come. LaSalle offers a bunch of important lessons, not just textbooks. You learn how to work in a community, work as a team, respect other individuals in a way that is thoughtful and considerate, and those are things that will lead to success long term. So that would be my advice, and I would also say when you get there, and you will,